if you sit down with an appraiser, they will not recognize a comp over 60 days. A senior appraiser.
Okay.
Because they say you can't judge the market past that. If it took longer than a property to sell in 60 days, like they don't like to recognize that if they don't have to. They will because you're in areas that you have to, but I don't know. I've sat down with a lot of them, and I just feel very confident that I poke enough holes that I ask the question, how do I lose? Everything I do, how do I lose? Not how can I put on rose-colored glasses and win the biggest? How can I lose? That's it, to answer your question. And if we do, I lose, right? That's a risk I'm willing to take. That's why I'm in this. I'm an
Right.
investor.
Right.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but on these, you can you can mitigate.
But the thing is, my concern is if you lose on one, that's okay, you can back up. But if you start to lose on 10,
Then you suck.
sometimes like then there's a problem.
Then you don't know what you're doing.
But
I've
brother,
just
market can crush like any time. You never know. You can't really predict on market. It's like you're betting on future. Like just to be pretty honest, right?
betting. I've been in this 20 years. You're betting on date. I've been in this 20 years, right?
Right.
You're betting on data.
No, the
You can't
reason I
predict somewhere and everything blows up and some crazy ass stuff happens. No, you
no,
can't.
the reason I'm putting that because you want to do it on scale. And once you do it on scale, you put a big risk on your back. That's what my concern is. Like if you would have been a regular flipper or if you're doing for let's say like small five at a time that if you have put up some cap into it, yeah, that's okay. But it seems to be like you want to do it on scale and you seem pretty aggressive and very excited about it. So that's why my concern comes along.
Yeah, get really good at underwriting. Get very comfortable. Because what if you sell a bunch of bad wholesale deals to flippers? Do you think that, what if you do that? What if that would be like saying, hey, you shouldn't wholesale anymore because you can sell a lot of bad deals to flipper, ruin your name, and be a bad wholesaler. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing. What if you did that? What if you
It
just,
is, but
right?
you're putting more skin in the game.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, I am.
Right.
I'm that confident in data and underwriting deals.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just want to hear about because
If I were to go after this comp, just real quick, and I'll get to this other question. I've got a good answer to this. All right, look, if I were to go after this comp right here, that's when crap could get crazy. I'm not going after this. The guy, I think this is legit. I showed you the house. I'm not doing that. I'm going after this one. That's the one I'm going after. I don't care about squeezing all the juice. I got a criteria, and I got to get the lowest, like the lowest barrier to entry, like comp that I can, that I feel warm and fuzzy. I could sleep every day of the week, and it still meets my numbers. I'm cool. Now, if I'm using this, yeah, I agree with you, 100%. And this one's a good comp. Like every wholesaler in the world would use this comp. All right, let me jump to this next one. J Dub, what you got?
Go ahead and get Tony. Go ahead and get Tony first. He had his hand raised first, and I'll wait just a sec.
Tony, what's up, man?
Hey, I got another question, two more questions for you. One was going to be along the same line that I think you already answered. You said you've never lost on a wholesale. Have you had to pivot your strategy on it, rent it instead of sell it, or
No, but I
anything
have on
like you've
flips.
gotten caught with the money out?
I have on plenty of flips.
Yeah,
I
of
was like,
course.
what's ARV and what can I get? And then I
Yeah,
end up renting it. Yeah,
yeah,
I've done that on flips. I'm like,
yeah.
what's the crystal ball say, right? And I've gotten a lot smarter over time.
Plus, the flips are longer. Like you got longer term, more time for stuff to go wrong. And,
That's the
yeah,
thing that even goes with the market. It's, hey, you can't, if you're buying it for the next 60-day sale, you're pretty close to where the market is right now.
yeah,
But yes, to answer your question, I have lost my ass on plenty of. I've done well too, right, on flip, but I have lost my ass on flips.
yeah. But on the wholetails, you've never lost, or have you always come out really well, or
I don't want to say really well. There's one that I only made 10 grand,
that's good. That's well to me.
but I wouldn't call that like really well. I had to buy it.
Yeah,
It wasn't like I would prefer to,
yeah,
but crap happened, right? It was
yeah.
a weird deal, and I don't know. I think I was a little rose-colored glasses on that one. Looking back, there's always things we can do to improve. And
Yeah.
that's all I'm doing is just like continually perfecting, continually getting better. We at underwriting and like really poking as many holes as I can in everything.
Yeah, I've given you a couple you poked holes in.
Yeah, I will. I say no to everything. People get tired of sending me deals. I'm like 50,
Yeah.
I'm 100 grand
Yeah.
off of somebody else's today. I think they cry.
The other question I have for you, so I've been doing quite a few novations, and one of the things that I really wanted, actually, I guess I got two questions. One, is you were saying that you were doing a novation where the realtor and you were involved. I'm getting pushback on from realtors. If I say, hey, I want you to list my novation, one, a lot of them don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Say that.
Two, their broker won't do it.
Yeah. Don't. I put it this way. I've got an attorney in fact property. I've got
Yes.
an attorney. That's any issues that way. I don't want to say never. You have weird ass agents. You got to enter them just like you would for this. I'll find the agents that have sold on that street or around that street. I might have to call 5 or 10 until I'm like, I feel good. I want somebody to tell me I'm wrong, like an agent, or I want them to poke holes in my story. That's the people I want to work with, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I find. And then I say, hey, look, I've got an attorney in fact. I'm gonna be listing this for these people. Are you cool with that? You have authorization? Yeah. That's our conversation.
Okay. Wow. Then I don't know why I'm always getting. They're like, I don't know. I got to talk to my broker. I don't know. But the other thing is, I guess you wait. You don't talk to them until you got it under contract, because that's what I also worry about is them stealing it from under me. But really, it's still they're getting the listing, so they really shouldn't care.
The last one we did, I had to do a lot of educating, but I do ask if they're okay with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to make sure there's no, because you don't want to work. This could be like that the whole time.
Yeah.
Like any weird, hey, you know what? I don't think we're a fit.
Yeah. Any hesitation? Okay, we're done.
Yeah, like, dude, I don't have capacity for this crap. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Did I answer that question okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Oh, I think
No, I believe JW is the
I'm
first.
sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, keep switching. I don't know what the hell. Hang on, man. J-Dub, what you got?
Yeah. I was gonna say whatever spot that is on your computer keeps getting
It does. It
getting
keeps
blocked
like
out.
switching around.
So this is the part that I guess I'm just gonna explain it just a little bit different. I do have a question, but essentially Travis is getting a pre-inspection before he sells the house, and he's just buying the house. It's just like you're trying to sell it to a wholesaler. It's just like you're wholesaling a deal to a flipper, except you're not going to go in there and spend $40,000 on it. You're just going to buy it and be done with it. Obviously, you do limit your buyers because you're not going to be able to qualify for FHA because you're wanting to move it quicker. So they're going to have to wait. So question one, if you have somebody that's wanting to do FHA and they're wanting to put it under contract, will you wait for that?
I haven't, to answer
Okay.
your question. On my mobile home that we just did in Maybank, Texas, I convinced them to go. I used to be a lender, by the way. I convinced them to go USDA.
Okay.
It's
So it's only 60?
USDA, zero down, doesn't matter how many days you've owned it.
Okay.
Badass.
Okay. But obviously they've got to have great credit for USDA, if I'm not mistaken.
It's more like an income requirement. They actually have to have like one of them has to have like lower income or some crap like that.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, or
All right. Sure. You just have the down payment constraint with conventional. Are you purchasing a title policy to reduce cost? You are getting a policy as well. Just cheap insurance. You don't want to roll those dice.
Builder's risk for like actual property insurance. And then like for title insurance, yeah, I get a title policy.
Okay. I forego a title policy a lot of times if I know I'm going to sell. I just have a check title, so I just wasn't sure.
I used to do that. I used to do that. I almost got burned once.
Yeah, just takes once, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then, are you doing anything that is a little edgier on the Wholetail side? Because the pictures that you've all shown, those are all pretty stand-up houses. Are you doing anything that's a little bit edgier and just marking? Okay, so no edge at all. I would say go ahead. The trailer house was somewhat edgy, but it doesn't matter if you can get it deep enough. You still won't close and clean it up a smidge.
Yeah, that trailer house, it had some spots on the bottom of the wall. It smelled like cat pee. It's a 2019 build. I had the cleaner go in there and we're gonna put trim, and that's it. And I cleaned the junk out of everything. To answer your question, no, I don't really take on the risk of any kind of, it's got to be like move-in ready for a family. Now, my favorite properties, they haven't been updated ever. That's my favorite.
Okay.
All right, cool. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Sweet. All right, Ishrak.
Yeah, so right now my next question is, an investor who sends you deals, how does he get paid?
All right, so somebody said USDA has low DTI requirement. Yeah, USDA is badass. I'm only partnering in my group. That's one main reason I'm doing this. I'd love to have people in my group, but if a wholesaler does have a deal, I'll buy it if it makes sense.
So he gets the like assignments up front, like he doesn't get to the partner end.
Correct.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
splitting
just
50-50 in the group.
okay, I'm probably mistake. I'm not understanding. So do we get the partnership on the profit margin that you're making, or we get the assignment fees upfront that you like once you close on it? Like, how do we get paid?
If you're in the group, we split the deal 50-50. We split the net
Okay,
proceeds 50-50. If you're not,
okay.
send me deals, and if it makes sense, I'll buy them. I don't care.
I see.
I don't
I
care how
see.
much you're
I see.
making.
I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Jermaine, what you got?
Can you hear me?
Got you, loud and clear.
All right. What is the criteria again for you? Just so I have this.
All right, so I have a calculator here, but I'll just tell you, $300,000 house, like $300,000 market value. I'd like to be at 30K minimum. Anything above that, I want to make 10%. That's after closing costs, everything. That's net. All right, the type of house, it needs to be ready to roll pretty much. I do budget $3 a square foot on my calculator. People are like, there's no way. That's what I do all the time. I beat it. I actually beat that number. But I always budget for that number because it's cool to get a bonus. We made an extra 8 Gs because we just factored for it. But that's my criteria. Is that kind of clear enough?
I believe so. So 300K market value, subtract 30, right?
Here, throw it in here. Let's do it in the calculator. All right. Let's see. You got a $300,000 market value house, right? You get it for, I don't know, it's 2,800 square feet. We already have almost none there. There's no majors. I don't know. You get it for this? Hell yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't know. Like it's still good. All right. 220. Be great. Somewhere around there.
Okay, cool. Perfect, brother.
All right, cool. Let me pull this back up. All right. Jesse, what you got?
Okay, so my question is when you're doing a deal and you already bought it and closed it out and you're about to list it on market, let's say instead of USDA loan, let's say you get a buyer in there who's going to do an FHA loan or just something like that, and they're wanting to do et cetera. Let's say, oh, hey, we might want to replace this or this, et cetera. Would you still go in there and be like, I'll replace that, or would you be like, no, we're not going to do any of that? I guess that's something like sort of like that.
I usually won't do FHA. I'm usually
Okay.
not going to go FHA buyer because I got to wait 90 days.
Okay.
Like after you close, like FHA's got a seasoning requirement. Unless I
Mhm.
had to, like the deal I closed last month in Maybank, I had an FHA buyer for 10 G's more, but it was a month. I was like, I'd just rather not make that much. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just cap it at the 30. I ended up doing 30 or 29 or 30K or something, but whatever. Like I didn't want
Yeah.
to.
Hey, that way you're just not so like you just get okay. I rather not deal with them. I rather deal with them. They'll close it out quicker, and then I don't have to deal with all this other bullshit essentially, and having to do some minor repairs that it really doesn't need because they're being picky.
There's a term,
Essentially.
Travis's day trade. Yeah, there's a term called velocity of money. All right, and I really hold true to it. If I can make whatever right now at a discount, I'm cool with that. Like
Mhm.
you can't go broke making a profit. I'm cool with it. I'm not greedy. I'm making money. I'm making money. We good. It'd have to be a
Okay.
really big deflection. I have to sit on it.
That was my question. I appreciate it.
Robert, what you got, man?
Yeah, just real quick on your calculator. I'm assuming if you've got any of the big six, does it automatically kill the deal or does it change the numbers or you got to get it deeper? You just run away from it.
I run like the. All right, cool. So like, I have all this calculate costs and stuff in here, but it's no anything major, no.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. I have it like automatically put cost per square foot and all that kind of stuff based off of what kind of whatever. But yeah, if it's major, I don't do it. In a nutshell, I can't predict that. We go do foundation, we ruining walls, we doing all sorts of weird pipes, and I'm not thinking about none of that. Anybody else got anything? I feel pretty good on this.
Curious, the other question I had earlier, I'm not sure if you answered it, but what's the longest time frame you've had on a hotel? And when you've gotten to that point, do you start looking at your number, reducing number, or you just wait it out or market it different? or you just never have problems. So it's hard to say.
Gonna be like, this dude's so full of it. I don't really. I have more problems with wholesales than I do wholesale. I don't. Wholesale part of the business is so easy for me. Wholesales, I had 2 deals and the people were on crack the last week. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't feel like closing. Or I don't feel, or just stupid stuff. Wholesales is so cut and dry to me. I wanted to do this training, one, because my link I put in here if you want to join. It's $500 a month. Two, you don't need me really. You don't need anybody. Like, you just need to be able to like underwrite the deal, make sure it'll sell in 60 days or less, and that's it. You need to be able to tell people what you're doing, and if you can underwrite it without rose-colored glasses, and it's really hard. It's really hard if you're used to like selling, like brokers sell the dream, right? They gotta sell the dream. And if you can get out of that, not saying you, I'm just saying people in general can get out of that mindset and poke holes in every which direction and it still works, that's a deal. You're going to have a lot of trouble not selling it for what you want or for what you predicted. Sorry for the long-winded answer.
We can always flip them to JW and Amarillo too.
If I can throw a plug in there, I mean, I will. Anything in Amarillo. I don't. It doesn't have to be pretty. I'm not as picky as Travis. Just send it, and I'll fund it, and I'll pay you if you send me a deal in Amarillo. And even in Dieball, I'll buy and sell a dog with fleas. I don't care.
He's over there selling Cadillacs and cars, and
I love buying cars at houses. That's the best.
That sounds like a country song. Jermaine, this was going cool. Yeah, well, I appreciate y'all jumping on here. Yeah, if y'all want to join the group, join it. Not cool. We'll do business one way or the other. Appreciate the hell out of y'all, and thank y'all for your time this evening. Oh, Tony, you raise your hand, bro.
Yeah, sorry, man. I have one more quick question. Is so I know that Courtney shared her deal. Do you have any students that are coming in here and not winning?
Yes, and I'm going to be straight up with you. It's mostly wholesalers. I'm really targeting agents to be just 100%. I was targeting wholesalers at first, and I frustrate the hell out of wholesalers. And I'm not saying that connotation, any negative, anything at wholesale. I feel like the agent or investor mentality really prevails. And then somebody said they can't raise their hand. There's a lot of good wholesalers too that recognize it. And I'm not saying they're bad if they can't. It's just like when you're wholesaling, you almost have a different lens. You got to predict what it's going to be worth after you fix it and all this other stuff. It's completely different. Yeah. So yes, I have wholesalers that have been frustrated that I don't want to buy their deals. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'm just curious because I get a lot of leads I'm trying to get wholesales, but I get a lot of novation type leads, which I think fall in your category, but I don't think I've been trying to get them low enough that would fit in this box. But I'll start and seeing if some of those are starting to fit into that box, then I would definitely want to partner.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'll say that. If it's 10 or 15 grand off, we can probably retrade.
Yeah.
Right? Like even 20K, like we could do an inspection, we can probably get it retraded. That's where a lot of people miss the opportunity.
Okay.
So if it's already a novation, it might be a wholetail.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll look at all my novations and see what I can do or see what I have. The other question I have, you just prompted one. I'll let JW go because I can't remember it right now. I'll remember it in a second.
So hopefully this will clarify in chat, Travis. I think this is the challenge with wholesalers is as a wholesaler, your mindset is, I just want to get a contract. And you stop and you don't keep on going because you're like, okay, I can make this work somehow. And you go, okay, I'll just send a contract. Instead of looking at it as if you've got your money that you're fixing to go spend and that's where you're going to go. It's just taking that next step, really diving in, figuring out what the problem is, how much the people need. That's the reason the wholesalers are struggling because they just want a contract. Then they're going to hope they can go sell it. That's the challenge. It's the same as the wholesalers. We look at guys and within Titanium University, we look at guys that are like, okay, I'm only getting a $5,000 or $7,000 or $10,000 fee. How's this guy getting a $30,000 fee? Well, he's asking for it. He's telling the people, I'm telling you, when you're on the phone with someone and when you tell that person, I can close within 10 days if your house is like you tell me, their ears perk up. Everything changes. Everything changes. You're not telling them, okay, I need 30 days. I need to do this inspection. I need to do that. You're telling them, listen, if your house is right, I'm going to come get my inspections done. We're going to close in 10 days. They're listening to you.
Yeah.
There's a huge
100%.
difference. You've got to take ownership of that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I talked to the wholesaler the other day. They said, we got 17 under contract. In my head, I'm like, there's 2 that's going to close. You know what I mean? We're the opposite. It's, hey, we're underwriting the hell out of the deal. And we know it's going to close. And we know we're going to bank. That's just what you said. That's the big difference. We know, unless World War whatever started, we're gonna do it. Brett, you said that you got your kid, you can't raise your hand. Do I teach wholetails only in the group? Yes, I do. I spend 2 days, my dogs came in here. I got 1 blind dog and anyway, 1 crazy one. Sorry, y'all. I do 2 live trainings a week. I've got a school library with over 100 hours of training. I got the calculator. We have a Facebook group where everybody puts their deals. I do underwriting, all that good stuff. What's all included as part of your group? That's what I do. And the biggest thing I think is I fund the deals 100%. I have all the funding connections. I'm taking all the risk. If you want to be on title with me, great. Courtney was on this. If you don't, great too. I don't really care. I have the funding connections. I've been doing this forever. I'm funding the deals 100%. If you don't need that and you know how to do this too, it's not the best fit. If you would like to have the funding and you don't want to put any money up whatsoever until we close and you just get 50% of what we net, that's what I'm offering. And then 2 trainings a week, and put whatever deals you get whenever you get them in the group, and we're underwriting them. JW spitting truth, hell yeah. Danny, Travis the best, thank you. Jesse, to bounce on what JW said, how do we know if we can close it that quick and secure a buyer for sure? That's where the underwriting comes in, right? You underwrite the hell out of it, you poke the holes in it, and you feel comfortable and you make a decision. That's all it comes down to. That's any investment you make, real estate or not, right? Any investment you make, that's what it is. When we stop to do inspections, yeah, you answered the question. Yeah, we order the inspections. I always pay for inspections. If I've ordered inspections on some TU deals that I've gotten very close to and they came back sucky, unfortunately, but I've spent $1,000 on some of them. I'd rather spend that upfront money, and nobody's getting charged that but me. I'm covering that, so it's not like we got to split it or anything. Jenny, yeah, absolutely. JW dropping bombs. Okay, Carlos in the right group, hell yeah. Is there a cap to the dollar amount? No, there's no cap. If it fits the criteria, there's no cap. What's the average cost per inspection? I pay up to $1,000. Sometimes I get them down. I had one in, I don't know, Ohio yesterday for $300. Ended up buying it. Thought it was gonna be a wholesale. I'd rather lose $300. That was a cheap one. I'd rather lose $300 than lose out on a deal or lose my ass on a deal, you know? Because I'm in California, that's okay. It don't matter. And the agents, there's an agent over there that poked holes in my story on a deal I wanted to buy. I have a process. Like, I get inspections, I interview the right people, and then I make a decision. Tony, did you raise your hand, man?
Yeah, I'll raise it again. Sorry. No, I appreciate you answering all these questions, man. This is awesome. When you get, actually, so what is the process like for your group? So if I'm in the group and am I locking down the deal and then you're doing your analysis after that?
Yeah, lock it down. Be like, hey, I got a deal. Think it's a wholetail, right? And you just put it in the group. And I might be like, dude, this is what I see. Or I might be like, hell yeah, let's roll.
Okay.
In Courtney's case, she actually sent it to me before she locked it up. And I was like, yeah, looks great. And that was it. That was the conversation. She's, hey, here's the comps. Here's what I think. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Cool. Let's roll.
Nice.
It was like,
cool.